Hey, I'm Max, and today I want to talk about what it was like for me to grow up half Japanese and half German, and also live in both of these countries. People always tell me that this is like a mix of Toyota and Mercedes. And that would actually be a cool car. So my name is Max, actually the long version is Maximilian. I grew up bilingual, my mom is fully Japanese, and my dad is fully German. So I was born in Germany, but after I was born, we moved to Japan. I was sent to a kindergarten in Tokyo. And after that, we moved back to Germany and I went to a kindergarten and school there. From that time on, I basically experienced the entire German education system. Parallel to my German education, I was sent to a Japanese school called Kumon once a week, where I got my ass whooped by the Japanese language and complex mathematics. You know, typical Asian stuff. It remains as a distant trauma. No, I'm just kidding. Without it, my Japanese will probably be trash. Then in 7th grade, my family decided to move to Japan again. And this might sound weird to you because not many people know that something like this exists, but I graduated from a German high school in Tokyo. Yes, that's actually a thing. My family moved a lot, so this is why I have always lived between Japan and Germany, and my personality has also been affected by that. Right now, I'm a university student in Germany, and I'm majoring not in German literature, not in Japanese culture, but in computer science and design. When it comes to my language skills, my German is definitely better than my Japanese. Even though I'm fluent in both languages and I can speak both without any accent, I'm just a lot more comfortable speaking German because my entire school education has been in German. Like, if you learn about German poetry, Goethe and all that weird stuff, the language just sticks differently. If you're bilingual, you can probably relate to this, but I slightly switch personalities when I speak a different language. Not in like a bipolar disorder kind of way, but you know, you're somewhat a different person. When I speak Japanese, people tell me that I'm more relaxed and funny. Also, I'm a little bit more laid back and casual in English. But in German, well, I don't know, even though out of these three I'm most skilled in German, I'm a bit more serious. Maybe because German is a more serious sounding, stiff language. People always tell me how aggressive German sounds. Ja, kann ich ehrlich verstehen, wir sind alle schon ziemlich ernst drauf hier. Genau, die Bahn kommt auch immer zu spät und eigentlich habe ich gar keinen Bock auf dieses Misswetter hier. And I also learned some Latin at school, so you can technically count this one as my 4th language. But let's be honest, I'm not gonna be a weirdo and run around speaking Latin, except when I wanna sound smart and drop some intelligent sounding quotes at a party. But my personality is a mix of both cultures. My humor is definitely more German, but my values and beliefs lean a bit more towards Japan. So let's talk about the most important thing there is, food. If I had to choose between the German and Japanese food, I would 100% pick Japanese cuisine. I've always been a fan of that, because in Germany you only eat, I don't know, bread. Over the last years, my love for Japanese food has intensified quite a lot. Probably because I live in Germany right now and only get to enjoy real Japanese food when I visit my family in Japan twice a year. There's absolutely nothing that can beat an authentic, delicious sushi plate. Prove me wrong. The majority of Germans actually don't like fish, but I'm not one of them. The quickest way to my heart is a good quality, authentic maguro nigiri. You know, there are a couple of stereotypes attached to Germany and Japan, which is generally not a bad thing. So whenever I meet new people, there are quite the funny questions I get asked. In Japan, people are like, bro, how's the beer like over there? Do you have any good recommendations? What's your favorite beer? And they get really jealous of all the nice sausages and pretzels I apparently get to enjoy on a daily basis. I actually don't enjoy beer and sausages that much, and they get really disappointed when I tell them. I can literally see in their eyes that they are like, holy shit, is this guy really German? In Germany, I get asked things like, do you watch anime? Do you like sushi? Nissan or Honda? Are you friends with the owner of that sushi restaurant? To which I can only say, no, yes, Nissan, no. And I also get asked a lot if I can speak some Japanese. いや、それは本当にだるい。まあでも仕方がないからちょっと喋ってやるかってなる。お前はもう死んでいる。何？でももし実際俺のことを街に見かけたらそんなこと聞かない方がいい。ガチうざいからやめてくれ。ありがとう。心から感謝してる。People say that there are many similarities between Germany and Japan, and both are insanely good at making cars. Porsche and Nissan, masterpieces. But yeah, German and Japanese people are both very organized, reliable people, and they are known for being on time and hardworking. And this means I have the pressure to embody these traits. But going strong. We are getting there. By the way, if you're interested in Japan and Germany and all that stuff, I have a bunch of videos about these topics on my channel. So I believe making friends as a mixed person is somewhat easier. Or at least in my case, I was always able to find matching people. Maybe because you have a lot to talk about since you have two cultures inside of you. Since I moved a lot in my life, I had to learn to make friends quickly, and I was fortunate enough to experience a broad spectrum of people, international people and the locals. So a big chunk of my friends from Germany, the real Germans, are actually from the countryside. They're really German and they do things that typical Germans would do. I will leave the rest to the imagination. And everywhere I go, it seems like Asians hang around in their own Asian groups all the time. But strangely, I never did that. In Germany, I'm friends with people who are German or international. It never really mattered if they were Asian or not. I actually don't have that many friends who are pure Japanese since I have been in a German environment for most of my life. You know, the German high school in Tokyo. But this is something I definitely want to change in the near future. Right now, I'm living with a housemate who also happens to be half Japanese and half Austrian. We speak German most of the time since our friendship is based on German. But yes, we do have a rice cooker at home. If you're mixed, you can probably relate to this, but there's this constant question of where is my home? The concept of home is quite weird for me. I always feel like not belonging anywhere. I'm 20 at the moment and I spent about 8 years of my life in Japan and my other 12 in Germany, so it's almost 50-50. And when I'm in Japan, I'm sometimes like, oh, I want to go back to Germany. And while I'm staying in Germany, I also miss Japan a lot. It is really hard to decide where to settle, and when people ask me to just pick one, I'm like, shit. If I think about it, it's kind of like having commitment issues. So when I'm with my mixed friends, we often talk about this and they're all like, yeah bro, everywhere I go I feel like a foreigner. I think this is something a lot of mixed people feel in general. Also, when I'm in Japan, I actually don't feel like a normal Japanese person. My worldviews and my behavior are completely different. For Japanese people, I also apparently don't look Japanese. People often approach me in English, which is really funny. But this is very common in Japan. As soon as you don't look Japanese but you're white, they just assume that you're an American. For them, everything outside of Japan seems to be America. And the same goes for Germany. I don't look like a typical German guy. I don't look like Hans with a big mug of beer in his hand eating a pretzel. So regardless of where I go, I could go to Germany, to Japan, or I don't know, Alaska. I always feel like a minority. So let's talk about the benefits and challenges of being mixed. The pros of being mixed are that you are more of an international individual, generally with a broader horizon and more open to new things. And being a social chameleon is also a benefit. You can fit into a variety of social situations better, and you are able to communicate with a lot of different people. And when meeting new people, there is always something to talk about, whether it's food or it's culture. Learning languages is also a lot easier. I was able to build a multi-language brain, my second brain so to speak, where I can literally switch between languages and mix them up. The downside of being mixed is that you have this identity crisis thing going on and you're not really sure where you actually belong. I sometimes feel like people only want to be friends with me because I'm Japanese or German. Many view you as this exotic person just because you come from another country. I gotta say, so far I've encountered quite some Asian hunters. And being mixed automatically means that you need to learn more. You now have two cultures to learn about, which by the way, can be a blessing, but I also experienced cultural clashes between different family members. And you also need to navigate stereotypes all the time, and some people even have to deal with bullying. For example, Japan is a very homogeneous country, which means that there are not many foreigners. So if you look slightly different, you stick out a lot. And there is this constant attention that you get from all sides. When I'm in Japan, a lot of people stare at me, be it in the city or on public transportation. But I'm really grateful for being able to experience the two cultures. It comes with its difficulties and benefits, but it is ultimately a journey of exploring both sides and finding your place in society. I don't know how many half Japanese, half Germans are out there in this world, but I can imagine that there are not many. Comment down below if you're one, like, that would be so cool. Love you, and as always, stay focused.